Hello everyone. We have our news for the week, so let's go over everything that we have going on. First, what's ending is all of the Final Fantasy VII stuff. So if you have not gotten your mystery crystals from the Arbiters of Fate or Lord of the Sewers, you pretty much have your last chance to get it. Those will be useful in the future, it seems, as long as if we follow JP side. They're going to be used to level boost your NVs to go from 120 to 130, or we'll be able to add a card slot to a 7-star unit. They're kind of like an extra currency to buy the materials to do that. So don't miss out on the ones that you can get now. Aside from that, the King Mog is going to end and the raid event is going to end. And as usual, the Challenge of the Brave is going to cycle. They do that all the time. Should be used to that. Maintenance, same time as normal. Nothing to be surprised about there. As far as login, it's going to be slightly different. We're only getting the NV crystals this time. We'll talk about the units a little bit later. So we're not getting any free login shards for an NVA. And that's because we're getting a King Mog this week. We can go over that in a second. So they have the cash summon for the new unit. We're getting Celes. We'll talk about her in a moment. One of the nice things starting up is we are getting our voted on 10+1 with NV ticket summon. And we'll be getting this weekly. Very nice on that. Hopefully everybody can get some nice Neo Visions out of it. We're getting some more login from the 5th anniversary after party. Overall, it's okay stuff. A lot of EX tickets. Guess they don't want us to be able to use tickets on banners. STMR tickets, always nice. And there is actually a decent amount of lapis if you don't miss any days there. Fountain of Lapis is coming back. Assuming it's the cheaper one. Decent, I usually buy those. We do have this letter from the team. There's a couple of things to note here. So first of all, they gave us a little bit more information on the veteran tickets or login tickets that they talked about earlier. Not going to be as much as we got last time. So the max amount of appreciation tickets that we're going to get is 15. So unfortunately, you don't get them all adding up. You just get whatever bracket you fall into, and that's it. You don't get anything lower than that. So max amount of tickets you'll get is 15, and you'll get the less login days that you have. Wondering what we're going to be able to pull from this, because they didn't give us any information on what the tickets are going to be used for. They're also going to give us the 110 NV tickets, and max that we're going to get is 10, which will be one free random Neo Vision. And then less than that, we're just going to get half a Neo Vision, 5 tickets. Still nice there, though. Now, they gave us kind of an apology about things that have happened, namely with the NVA of Zeal that they skipped, and all the stories, side stories for the Season 3 units and everything that they skipped. So, part of their apology, they're going to give us Lapis as we log in for the Lost Story events. So, they're spreading it out. It's going to be 30,000 spread out across 6 login campaigns, it looks like. And as far as Zeal's NVA, pretty much I read this as they skipped them. They don't plan on giving us his NVA at the moment, but they're going to look into giving us the NVAs of similar types of units in the future, and if they're not going to, they're going to give us a heads up on that we're not going to get it. Hopefully we get the Dragon Quest collab and they give us the NVA for Slime. I think a lot of people will be extra sad and annoyed if they skip that one. But anybody that really likes Zeal's NVA probably need to complain a bit more. because from what I read through this, we're still not going to see it. It's just sorry, and we learned our lesson and moving on. Pretty much how I read most of that letter. Again, warning us about the favorited equipment stuff. You have until next month to do all of the Chamber of Arms 10-man fights and get all that equipment. We're getting our intro quest for Celes. We can go over a couple of her kit later. She does have her CG, and it's nice. So with the new unit, we get a new card. So she gets her card, which is kind of unique because she's a magic cover tank and spirit base, but her card is attack and magic. But it's got 25 LB damage, 50% attack and magic, and for Final Fantasy VI units only, 300 raw attack, defense, magic, and spirit. So it's a pretty nice card, but it doesn't fit her all that well outside of some LB damage. We're getting a new Chronicle battle for Final Fantasy VI. So Final Fantasy VI units, obvious boost, same as normal there. Equipment wise, we're going to be able to upgrade the Hyper Wrist. Gives us a magic and physical avian killer by 50%, 45 attack with 20% attack on it. So it's overall a decent accessory. And Ninja Gear gets upgraded, 40 attack, 23 defense and spirit, 40% fire resist is not bad. And then Final Fantasy VI units get attack and spirit equipment boosted by 25% when single wielding a weapon. I see more use in the wrist than I do the gear, but 40% resist on a 40 attack body piece is not bad. So the event is going to be a King Mog event. And with that, because they're not giving us a new NVA, they're pretty much just bringing Shadows back. So he's already an NVA. There's nothing new about him. They're just giving us the unit for free, and then we can buy his shards and everything in the King Mog shop. So essentially, they're giving us an NV Shadow for free as long as we farm the event. As a unit, he's pretty useful. He's a 80% breaker. He can do 84% defense break, I think it is, every other turn. He's a provoker. He's easy to make full evasion. And he can do double Mirage stack on the team and has a little bit of LB fill to help out. So rather useful. Be nice to be able to get him EX3 to help out with Clash of Wills, possibly. And some of the special gear, we're getting a katana that is shadow only. We can enhance it to 180 attack and 20% evasion, which makes him super easy to go full evade. White dress is okay, nothing super special about that. The guard bracelet is a little bit more useful when you need auto shell and auto protect. And then everything else is your standard King Mog stuff. Only the new NV has the 300 bonus. All the Final Fantasy VI NV units, aside from her, a 200% bonus. And then last week's unit Sky and NVA Sig get the 150 bonus. And it just goes down from there. Alright, so the banner, we are getting one new Neovision base, that's Celes herself, and we're getting two 7-star units, the Yeti and the Moogle. They are very unique units themselves, but obviously Celes is the main feature. So her Super Trust is a really nice sword, only usable by Final Fantasy VI units, unfortunately. But 180 attack, magic, and spirit, 50% limit damage, 250 raw attack, magic, and spirit, and 30% evade and magic evade. Quite useful there. Her TM's not bad either. 40% mana and spirit, and physical and magic aquatic killer, 50%. So the unit herself is kind of unique. She's pretty much a magic cover and ice support unit. So in her base form, she's pretty much set up to be a magic cover. Her cover does 230 stat buffs for 4 turns. She mitigates damage taken by 50% to the party, mitigates magic damage by 50% to the party, and it's 100% magic cover with 60 to 80%, well, 65 to 80% cover mitigation. So as a magic cover, she's really useful with all that buffs and the one ability. She does get her triple cast. She gets one chaining move, which is Stardust Ray. Spirit based, adds a provoke, 75% general mitigation tied to it, and 50% physical mitigation tied to it. And she does have the block 1 spell cast. So in situations like Amon, when you wanted to block a bunch of spells, she can actually triple cast and block 3. So that is useful there. And she is pretty much a spirit double-hander. Her passives let her use a shield or not, but she definitely wants to just single wield a weapon. Base form, her limit burst does do some damage, up to 135x spirit scaling. The big things there, though, is it also reduces damage for the party by 80% and magic damage by 80%, and a bonus of 80% magic and physical down from aquatics, which that's a little niche, but useful as well. Her shifted form, we get to see her support side. So her shifted form is pretty much pure support. So she gets bird and dragon killers for the team, limit damage buff plus limit fill for the team, stat buff and imbue ice as well as boost ice damage. So essentially her base form is just magic cover and support, and her shift form is pure ice support. So her shifted limit is similar to Nicole's, just a little bit less the stats. So it's only 300 to all stats, but it's add ice, 45% ice boost, and 250 LB damage. Overall, she's a pretty decent unit. I'm not going to be pulling directly on her banner myself. We'll use some EX tickets and see if I get lucky or not. But mostly I'm just hoping to see her as an off banner. She's nice, but she's not I must have because I have a bunch of magic tanks already nice. And for the 7 stars, they're kind of unique themselves. So the Yeti pretty much is a berserk machine. Everything seems to be based around his auto attack and berserk. Now TM wise, the super is really nice. I mean 50% attack and an accessory with fire resistance by 30, 50 ice, and null death, which is really nice. Also has a chance to counter when being attacked. And the regular trust is unique as well because it's a materia that lets your normal attack hit 2 times. This is the first materia that we have with that effect. Everything else has been an item of some sort, so an accessory or a weapon that has it. We haven't actually seen a materia with that effect yet. But yeah, as you can see here, he berserks himself, essentially. So he has no active abilities because he can't essentially do anything. But his normal attack is a 64x bolting chain mod, and he's pretty much a double hand unit, which is why his TM lets him attack twice there. But yeah, he's perma berserk. I'm not even sure why they really gave him a limit burst, unless I guess you cure it yourself. So a unique unit right there. The Moogle, the Super Trust, a spear, 170 attack with a couple of killers on it. Not bad. I'm assuming those are 50% killers. The regular Trust, I mean, overall, I don't see much of a use for that at this point in the game. As far as abilities that the Moogle has, I mean, he's kind of a supporter, but, I mean, I don't see anything too great in his kit. Nothing to chase, really. I mean, maxed out Limit Burst will give you 75% insect killer, but we can get better than that already. It's only 250 buffs. He has a 30x jump with 1 turn, 40x chain move. I guess the big things is he can wind imbue and ice imbue your team, and looks like an extra area effect that will reduce that element to just the enemy by 25. But other than that, he doesn't have too much of a use overall. So some unique 7 stars we're getting, and then a decent, well, actually a good magic cover and ice booster. And that's pretty much everything that we're getting, unless they wanted to leave something out. But that's all the news that I can see in game, and what I've looked up, cross-referencing the in-game news and some of the stuff on the JP side. So that's what we got to look forward to. Anybody that's going to pull for Celes, good luck. Like I said, I'm going to do just EX tickets and see how lucky I get. But we'll end the video there. Hope everybody enjoyed.